The knowledge stack is the quiet idea that every goal carries a hidden price tag, usually paid in time, money, or energy. By the end, you'll know how costs show up, which trade offs matter, and how to choose wisely. Before we get clever about savings or shortcuts, we need the basic rule. Every goal asks for a cost. You want the result, and the result arrives with a bill attached. Sometimes that bill shows up as money. Sometimes it shows up as time. Sometimes it shows up as energy, focus, or patience. And this is the part people miss. The bill is often paid before you notice it. You say yes to one thing, and suddenly the evening is gone. You buy convenience, and then you spend extra to fix the mistake later. You save money, but you spend more time. The trade is always there, even when it feels invisible. So the first question is not, can I get this for free? The real question is, what am I paying and what am I getting back? Once you start asking that, you stop being surprised by life's small invoices. You begin to see the structure underneath the choice. That is the starting point for everything that follows. If every win has a cost, then the skill is not escaping cost. The skill is noticing it early enough to choose well. Now that we know there is always a bill, let's name the three things we usually pay with. Most of the time, it is time, money, and energy. Those are the everyday currencies running quietly in the background of your day. Time is what disappears when a task takes longer than you expected. Money is what leaves your wallet, your account, or your budget. Energy is the harder one to track because it shows up as mental effort, stress, and the feeling that one more decision might be too much.
A simple way to think about any choice is to ask which currency it spends most. Does this save money but cost hours? Does it save time but drain energy? Once you can see those three moving at once, the hidden economy of daily life becomes much easier to read.
So now the question changes. If every choice costs something, why do some people seem to pay less for the same result? The answer is knowledge. Knowing more does not remove the bill, but it changes how expensive the bill feels. When you understand how something works, you waste less time guessing. You avoid buying the wrong thing. You notice patterns before they turn into problems. That means knowledge quietly lowers the price of a decision because you stop paying for mistakes, repeats, and detours. This is why information can feel like a shortcut, not because it creates magic, but because it helps you choose better on the first try. The less you know, the more you pay in correction. The more you know, the more your money, time, and energy start working together instead of fighting each other. And knowledge does not arrive all at once. It builds. First, you learn enough to avoid obvious mistakes. Then, you learn enough to save time. After that, you learn enough to save money. Later still, you learn enough to spot better opportunities before other people even notice them. That is why we can think of knowledge like a stack. The bottom layer keeps you from slipping. The next layer helps you move faster. The higher layers give you leverage because each new piece of understanding makes the earlier pieces more useful. You are not collecting facts for decoration. You are building a system that changes what you can do. So if you ever wonder what to learn next, start with the layer that saves the most of your current bill. Learn what reduces your mistakes first. Then learn what saves the most time. Then learn what opens the next door. The stack grows in the order that helps your life most. Now we can make the trade-off smarter. You do not always want to pay less. You want to pay with the cheapest currency available. If a task costs time, money, and energy, the best choice is the one that spends the resource you can spare most easily. That means the right payment changes with the situation. If you have time but not cash, maybe you do the longer version yourself. If you have money but no energy, maybe you buy the shortcut. If your focus is limited, maybe you avoid the option that creates a bigger cleanup later. The goal is not perfection. The goal is balance. This is the practical test. Which bill hurts least right now? Ask that before you commit. When you choose the cheapest payment in the moment, you stop stacking stress on top of stress. You become less busy, less broke, and less burned out because your decisions stop fighting your resources. So, the final lesson is simple. The bill never disappears, but you can choose how to pay it. Once you see the stack clearly, you stop reacting by habit and start spending intentionally.